Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. Me, after saying that I was just not going to scream, and then my mic instantly went into the red. Welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. This week, we are going to talk about episode 8 of Survivor 47. But before we get into it, Maddie, I have to ask, how are you?
That's a bit of a loaded question at the moment.
Right.
First off, I just want to flag my voice is a little crazy because I've been sick for almost a week now. Do I maybe think I should go to the doctor tomorrow? Potentially. Do I want to? Absolutely not. But if you see me sipping on my little hot chocolate,
Is there milk in your hot chocolate?
No, it's water.
Oh, okay.
Ew, milk with a gross sort of phlegminess. That sounds like
no. See, that's why I asked, because usually if your throat is like sore, phlegmy, you're supposed to avoid milk.
Yeah. No, this is water based.
Yeah.
How am I? I've been better. This has been a tough week. For really all of America, whether they realize it or not. So, we'll see. I'm not feeling very positive about that, but I do want to say I am so grateful for Survivor. The episode last night was exactly what I needed. It was so entertaining, such a good time, just take my mind off everything. And I'm really appreciative of that. And I'm also glad we get to do this silly little podcast.
It was a good episode, and I'm also glad for our silly little podcast, and I'm glad for all of our now 13 subscribers.
Our silly little subscribers.
Yes, welcome in. Yeah, it's so good. I'm so excited to talk today.
How are you?
I'm doing so good. I was thinking part of that milk thing was that when I had COVID for the only time I've only had it once. I almost said for the first time, guys. I'm not a repeat offender. I had COVID once in 2021, and I don't know if I want to say the story actually.
Were you sort of gonna share your where you were when you had COVID?
Yes, I was gonna, and then I thought to myself, maybe I should not sort of talk about that. So I'm actually gonna take that back, and we're just sorry. Anyway,
it was the vibe at the time.
It was the vibe at the time. It was summer. It was, what is this audio? It was summer 2016. It was the vibe at the time, you guys. I wanted to bleach and tone. Bleach and tone. Anyway, don't drink milk when your throat is sore. I'm doing really good right now. I wanted to talk about, this I can talk about. I got a little silly the other night. Partaked in some recreational things. It's okay. And I started craving pho so bad. And I wanted it again so bad. It was about 11 p.m. So there was really nothing I could do about that. We definitely don't, I can't just make pho at my house. That's not something I could do. So what is the next logical thing that I do?
I'm not sure.
I look up people making it on TikTok, obviously. And I watch probably for an hour videos of people eating, people making, people recommending, people doing reviews of pho. And it was I felt like I was there with them. Did it satiate me? No, it did not. And so then we did kind of day post-election. I said, I need to pick me up. And I said, Mom, can we get pho for dinner? And we got pho for dinner. It was so good last night. One of my favorite places is, I'm not going to tell you where I live. I don't know why I went in all that. But it was so good. It was good as always. My problem is, I will say this, the problem with the place where I usually get it locally is that they sort of don't fourth their limes. They sort of cut them in half, which then when I go to squeeze the lime, there's not I can't get any juice out of it, which sort of defeats the purpose. I didn't sort of have to cut up the lime, but it was so good. Maddie and I have had this discussion before. Maddie's a very pro ramen, and I'm very pro pho. So it's just sort of
Leave
two
us
girls.
A comment. of what you
engage.
prefer.
Exactly. Do you prefer ramen or pho? We'll sort of, and you know what? We'll take one of the comments and we will give you $2,000. We'll do a random draw, and Maddie and I will give one random commenter who tells us whether they like ramen or pho. We will give them $2,000.
Where is that $2,000 coming from?
Well, it's coming from our Patreon.
Oh, right.
That we have. You guys might have to look for it, but it is there. So
Maybe we should start a Cameo.
yes, we should start a Cameo.
Yeah, I love ramen so much. I also like pho, but I just love like the richness of ramen.
See, and I love the like. I kind of like. What would you? I like that it's not. I guess the richness, but I like it's not creamy.
Fresher.
Yes, I love the freshness of a pho, the freshness of the broth. The broth is so.
See, and the broth of the ramen is like.
The problem
one
is,
of my
I'm
favorite
like, I
parts.
don't want to eat it's like creamy. It's too. I'm like, I don't want all that. Like, I want just like bone broth and like oil. Bone broth and water. Put some sriracha in there. Ooh,
Yeah.
yum yum yum. So good in my. Oh wait, what is it? Yum 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 yum. Have you seen? Anyway, we got to move on. So, let's get into some Survivor. Let's talk. What a great episode. So engaging. Maddie and I were as we were just saying. We start that episode, and Soul is wanting to play dumb.
Love.
He just wants to play. He wants to be just a dumb boy. And he is going to keep it a secret. He's working on creating Soul's secret agents, the SSA.
Isn't that Social Security agency? It's like your SSA?
Your SSN.
No. Yeah,
Your Social Security number.
Yeah, that's correct. There's another thing that stands for SSA.
Okay, well, let me type it in. Luckily, guess what, guys? We're recording on a computer right now. SSA is going to go ahead and be my Social Security account or Social Security Administration.
That's it.
I guess depends on you if you're wanting to do it sort of on a personal level or on a broader like federal level. We can get into that later. But we'll get him on the pod. And we'll chit chat. But he wants to build the SSA, which good for him. I mean, he is up there in age, one of the oldest on the cast, so that makes sense.
Right. Also, I just want to make a little shout out. I'm probably going to very frequently be like muting. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going to be muting my mic and sort of looking down. That's me coughing, but I don't want like my coughing face
Shown on the internet.
Right.
Right. I introduced my manager to Have You Ever Been to Krispy Kreme?
To Blanche.
She went to Blanche. She went, my bestie manager, Simone, she went, right.
I have to bring up this really quick. I wanted to be Blanche in our last episode. But I couldn't secure the wig on time.
Of course.
but-
Maddie, this was our Costumes Ops episode were a very last minute decision.
Right.
So this is sort of a rush job for everything.
Maybe next year I'll be Blanche. But I also couldn't remember. I needed like the picture of her. I couldn't remember what the meme was. I just remember that her name was Blanche. But if you search Blanche, you're only going to get like Golden Girls.
Of course.
So then I was like Blanche Redhead. And then that didn't think of anything. So then I was like, Blanche meme. Guess what? You're only gonna get Golden Girls memes.
You could have just gone back to one of our past, like, I don't know, 20 of our first 20 episodes where I make the same joke over and over again.
That didn't cross my mind. So anyways, I don't remember how I ended up finding her, but I was like, oh my god. Krispy Kreme. Anyways.
So, great. Great. We're back on Survivorland. Soul tells Rachel that he is so happy she's there, and she is there because he gave her the advantage.
Right.
Which I think is great. I mean, do we think Rachel's going to keep it a secret? I feel like it doesn't benefit her to gab about it.
Right. And I feel like she knows that she's not really in a good situation. And I wouldn't want to make the one person who put their faith in me to like be mad at me, you know?
It's I think it's fun. I'm enjoying, it's fun seeing people on the bottom come together. Because oftentimes in, I don't know if in recent seasons, but we definitely have seen seasons of Survivor where people on the bottom just accept their fate, especially if they're on like the bottom of a majority alliance. Like they accept that they're at the bottom, but at least then they're on the bottom of the majority, and they'll just go from there. But then by the time they can do anything, it's just like too late in the game. So I love seeing people on the bottom. I think this episode is very clear, especially when we get post when we get post immunity challenge. Very clear that this season is full of a lot of players who are playing an individual game, which I love. We'll get more into that later, but that is making me very excited for the rest of the season. Sam goes up to Rachel and tells her that she was for sure going to go home if she had not left, and she and Ham sort of like solidified that it might be good moving forward to do Lavo and Gata versus Tuku moving forward. And that's sort of it for the night post tribal. Rachel's still alive, and
I'm happy about it.
Me too. She's been given this season. It's weird because she gives in spurts, I feel like pre-merge. I think she had a good first episode in like a good premiere episode, and then I think she sort of fizzled out for a little bit, and then she had her little rice moment and she came back. And there's definitely there's been pops of Rachel, but I really like her. She's been the talk of the town right now. People are discussing her as a player and really thinking about her and her longevity in the game, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
We wake up in the morning. Well, we don't. We're not on the island. But the Survivor players wake up. And I love this little scene of Carolyn being like, guys, there's something I have to show you. We have to go see it.
I love her too.
And I don't even know who says it, but somebody is like, oh my gosh, what are you going to show us? Like they don't all know that what's already over there is killing me. The acting was not great this episode, but you know what? We had some voice work from Jeff that sort of hit or miss.
Yeah, we got a lot of it. We'll all just say it now. Sam's little newscaster moments.
Yeah.
Were so good.
I mean, that's his job.
Yeah.
That Ken's job as a newscaster.
It's just, I love silly little bits like that.
They're really playing into it this season. Like, it's very, to give this cast its flowers, like, they're not very serious, but when they are serious, it is serious. You know what I mean? Oh my God, my words. Levity and palliate. The hardest thing with these words is that I don't know how to pronounce some of them, and
Could you explain why you're doing these words?
Guys, I'm studying for the GRE right now, and I'm sort of, there's a lot, my flaw right now is that I don't know a lot of words, and so I'm sort of studying.
And you also don't know if you're going to take it.
So true. And the problem is like it has the phonetic like spelling of these words, but I still sometimes have a hard time because I'm like, why are those letters like, that's not, I guess this isn't phonetic spelling technically. I don't know. Anyway, sometimes it's hard for me to pronounce the words, and then I'm like, what? Anyway, the point is that they are very serious sometimes, but they never lack levity. Wait, they never are. It's a fucking noun. How would I use that in a sentence? I don't know. Well, this isn't a GRE prep podcast, you guys. I'll spend some more time on that.
I hope you'll spend some more time on that.
We go to the auction. This is so exciting. Well, not yet. We find out that they are going to do an auction, and that's sort of the mysterious table that Caroline leads them all to. It's similar to last season, where they have to run around the forest to collect scrolls full of money. And it's like exciting. Everybody's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So they split. And Sierra does great because she was doing Easter egg hunts up until a year ago.
Which I love that for her. I also would love an Easter egg hunt.
I do too. I wish there were more like adult Easter egg hunts.
Well, maybe someday we'll live together or
That
near each other, and we can have Easter egg hunts.
So
we can
true.
hide them for each other, or
So
we can make Logan
hide
all
them.
the eggs, and then we go find them.
Right. I'm thinking that I'm like at the university that you and I both attended. That would have been such a fun. Are Easter eggs inherently religious? You think, like Easter egg hunts? Do you think they're religious? We did Easter egg hunts and Easter eggs, and my family's not religious. Is that Catholicism?
What's the Easter Bunny babes?
No, right. So, right. You're right. Easter Bunny famously not religious at all. There's another word in my. There's another word in here. It's not apostle. It's like the opposite of apostle. That's how I remembered it. A what?
A prostate.
That sounds like you're saying a prostate.
No, I understand.
Where is it? Oh my god, it is apostate! Wait, did you know that?
Yes.
It was on my list of words that I didn't know, but now I know it. Wait, but we like figured that out together. So, Easter Bunny famously apostate. I don't think I used that word right. It's a noun! He's an apostate.
Yeah.
So I did use it right.
Well, you said he's
He's
It's a-
Anne.
Yeah.
Great. So, I wrote that AI Andy does not have the recent update for the Easter egg hunt. AI Andy has not been updated for Easter egg hunt.
Wait, I wrote, I was like, Andy not being able to find any money on this course. And then he said, I have my eyes. They work fine. And I said, the robot realizes he has eyes.
The robot is tuning in, y'all. That scene specifically was so funny to me because why does he say that? Immediately walks past one, and then like the next scene is him with somebody else, and I think it was Sierra. Oh no, it was Genevieve. Genevieve walks past him and he's like, I can't find any. And Genevieve, no, it was Sierra, because then Genevieve comes out of nowhere. He walks past one, Genevieve walks past him, he is still in the frame, and she grabs it and then runs back to camp. I'm like, sir, that has to, and maybe he was playing a game. Maybe AI Andy, I'm sure he would have told us though, if that was part of the narrative, but I'm sure like if they remembered the auction from last season, they know that if you have the least amount of money, then you're fine. Obviously he's not going to get a food reward, but like, he doesn't have to risk his vote at all. So maybe there was a strategy. Who knows? Maybe we'll get him on the pod and sort of talk to him about that. But
also, I just wanted to call out Genevieve. She was like, I hate running, but I need money for food. Because she's like, I just need to say the food that I want out loud. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Why is she so funny?
I live for
love
her.
this cast.
It's a great cast. They're not as over the top as 46, but they definitely are. I would say they are as entertaining as 46.
They're just like genuinely weirdos, and I love
They
it.
are. They're little freaks. They're little freaky freaks. And it's so fun to watch because I'm like, y'all are so unserious. What a fun group. Andy ends up getting no money. Unfortunately, he ends up not finding a single scroll. And I was kind of thinking that he was telling people, he kept going up to like Sam and Sierra and was like, I don't have a scroll. And I think he was sort of assuming that maybe Sierra would give up one of her like 20 that she found, and nobody budged. No. They said, good luck. They said, good luck, babe. Good luck, babe. He was not getting a dime. He got no dime. And Sierra got over $1,000.
Yeah. And some of the other
Gluttony.
Well,
that is gluttony.
Yeah.
Sierra is gluttonous.
Sierra is gluttonous. I thought it was funny because every scroll has like a different amount of money.
Yes.
So some other people ended up with a lot of money and not
Kyle
a lot of
got
scrolls.
Kyle got $2 and he got like $500 something.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what the layout is. Reminder of how this auction works. And I did kind of forget about all of this until Jeff did say it again, and I was like, oh right. How the auction works is that the first 5 items, there are for sure going to be 5 items called. After that, there could be one more item, or there could be 10 more items called. We don't, as an audience, don't know. The Survivor players don't know. So the goal is, there's a little challenge now to the auction. You have to get rid of your money. You cannot you can't hold on to your money. Whoever has the most amount of money at the end of the auction will lose their vote. It's sort of the, this is not a word of practice. I really need your help. My brain wants to say superstition, but that's not the right word. That's it starts with an S, like the stipulation. That's not a word. You know what I'm trying to say? Stipulation.
Yeah. I would say like that's the catch.
Stipulation is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Which is close enough. Like, I was there.
And you know what? The people on that test would definitely know what you meant.
They would. The stipulation is that you can't have any more money, and that's sort of where they lost me. We'll get there in a second. So we start. So exciting. I'll just go down the list here. Soul for $60. He got some potato chips and a soda pop. And
that was a lot of chips, though.
It was too many. I love some chips, but give me soda pop and maybe like a fruit drink. Like, I need something that is, I guess soda. Wait, not soda pop and a fruit drink, chips and a fruit drink. The problem is I don't like carbonation. So if I got that soda, I would have thrown it on Jeff. Okay. Sort of housewife style.
Yeah.
Teresa Caputo, like, and been like, get me a
housewife.
Teresa. Oh my God.
That's the Long Island media.
I meant Teresa. What's her last? God.
Oh,
Judas. Judas? Guys, we are getting religious on this podcast today.
Can you?
Judice.
Yeah.
This is not the first time I've done. So that's going to go ahead and not be the first time I made that confusion in the last month. I was in New York, and I was like, we were talking about housewives, and I went, Teresa Caputo. And my mom went, no.
Wait. Can you purpose your wig?
The Long Island medium?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I'm from New York. Oh, I don't know how to do a New York accent. I feel a spirit in the room. I almost did something out of pocket, and that would have been crazy. And I'm going to sort of refrain because I have to like think about who our audience is and sort of go back in.
Type it. Send it to me.
Right. Let me write that down before I forget. I was going to do this. Okay. It's in all caps, so I'll definitely remember. Soul gets some potato chips and a soda pop. Teeny spent $640 on mac and cheese.
Which I want to
say. So you coded.
That would be my dream. Like, I would want nothing more. I mean, there are things that I would want more in the auction, but like, I would happily spend all my money on mac and cheese.
Okay, but the problem... Go.
Speaking of mac and cheese, listeners, it's time to be perfecting your mac and cheese recipes for the holidays. I'm going to be testing out, hopefully this weekend. There's this, I think she was like on Junior MasterChef or something, Teeny, the chef, who's like friends with Gordon Ramsay. She is like famous for her mac and cheese recipe.
Girl,
coming up on my page.
What is with these teenies and mac and cheese?
Yeah, she spells Teeny Tini because it's like short for something.
Right. I'm sort of looking up what this person looks like. I love to get a visual.
Yeah.
Oh.
She might have come up on your For You page.
I have seen her before.
So anyways, I'm just mac and cheese on the brain.
I've seen a lot of people talk highly about, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was like, oh, that mac and cheese does look good. I was going to say, well, Teeny did tweet, somebody took a screenshot from later in the episode. Later in the episode, specifically part of the auction, and Teeny sort of sitting there like with her mac and cheese, and somebody was like, Teeny was regretting that mac and cheese, and then she responded and was like, I did in fact regret that mac and cheese. It was so hot and it was so heavy, And she was like, I felt good about being full, but I literally, like, I could not eat all of that mac and cheese. Like, that was crazy.
I know. I saw it not finished. I was like, no, that's real. I would not be able to finish that.
Somebody on Twitter responded to something about the auction and was like, Teeny, are you even hungry? Because you, at this point, you're eating every 2 days. Like, you are eating so much. You're going to gain weight by the time you leave. Like, you're bidding. I know damn well you're not hungry. Like, I don't. So Teeny gets her mac and cheese. Kyle wins a mystery item. Ooh la la, what's it gonna be? Well, first, Sam stops and was like, hey, if Kyle gets meat, can I give you the money and I take it instead? And Jeff, hard no. This is a very new era Jeff, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a fine deal. If Kyle keeps his money, I don't know. I guess whatever. It ends up being chicken wings, buffalo wings.
Yeah.
And Kyle breaks his 6-year veganism/vegetarian diet.
Well, he was vegan for 6 years.
Vegetarian, yeah.
To become vegetarian, so you could go on Survivor. I think,
which is crazy.
I just want to say.
What?
Oh, you finish.
I was gonna say, which is crazy, and like for some buffalo chicken wing that were not that good.
Also, as a person who doesn't eat a lot of meat, and I regularly go long periods without eating meat, when you don't eat meat for a while and then you eat it, it makes your stomach hurt. Like, if I know, like, even if I want to eat the meat, like we go to a restaurant or like if someone's cooking and I'm like, I want to try it, I can only have a little bit because it genuinely makes your stomach hurt so bad. I could not imagine going through that on the island.
Meat wouldn't be my first, like, I've brought this conversation up so many times, but I remember Lindsay from Survivor 42 in the final 5 when they had a reward challenge, and it was either like a plate of spaghetti or something, or a giant chocolate cake, and whoever went on that reward picked the chocolate cake. And I remember everybody went up in arms on Twitter and was like, why would you choose the chocolate cake? Like, your sweet tooth, blah blah blah. And Lindsay was like a registered dietitian, and she was like, no, like, it's better for you to take the chocolate cake because it has so many calories. I feel like that is sort of the vibe that I would go for, because I just know I famously love chicken. Maddie knew that and sort of planned a whole meal around that for me when I went and visited her.
And you know what? Wait, I want to say, I think about that meal all the time. Okay, picture this, people, Caesar salad lovers. It was a kale Caesar salad. No joke. I've been thinking about that. I want to go back.
Why don't you go back?
Chicken restaurant. Well, because it's kind of like an annoying spot, and there's not great parking.
Oh, that's true. The parking was not great.
And that stresses me out.
Right.
But I have been thinking about this kale salad, and Logan makes fun of me for it because he's like, you went to a chicken restaurant and didn't
That's
get
so
chicken.
true. That was sort of like the talk of the night, was that we did this whole meal out to a chicken restaurant. Maddie didn't get any chicken.
And he's like, so you not only did you not get chicken there, you are now wanting to go back for the salad and no chicken. And I was like, right. I don't want the chicken.
The fries were good.
The fries were delicious.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I love chicken, but like chicken's gonna sit in your stomach for meat, period, is gonna sit in your stomach forever. Like, it's gonna take you, and you haven't been eating. You haven't been eating. It's gonna take forever to get through you. Sorry, that was me doing an impression of Jeff doing, whatever. What was that impression from? Shakespeare in Love? Is that what he? Anyway, so that was that. He breaks his fast. He downs those wings. It pans over and he's eating them. Jeff has a weird British accent. And when I say weird, if you haven't watched it, because I know famously people watch this podcast don't watch the episode. Jeff has a crazy British accent moment here, and it's not just it's like a whole performance.
Yeah.
Which was strange. He's never done anything like this, and I don't know if he sort of like, I don't know what happened, if there was sort of a glitch in the matrix for a moment. But it was strange. He introduces a dish that's covered, ends up being a pie.
Yeah.
Kind of a giant
the Kyle
pie.
didn't go for.
No. And Soul bids on it and wins it. And Soul ends up getting some money back. There's like a cash back system this auction.
Which didn't really play out.
It didn't really do anything. I could understand it having, like, I understand what they were trying to do with it.
Yeah.
But maybe, and I know this is a crazy idea, if you're not wanting everybody to spend all their money at once, you just do a normal auction where people can bid. Aren't in I
They
can't
aren't
think of any
trying
words.
to like.
They're not
come
trying to
out.
just spend all their money.
Yeah.
Maybe if you want people to have more of a I don't know. I understand what they were doing, but there's like, you're like trying to solve a problem that doesn't need to be a problem to begin with.
Yeah.
So that was whatever. He gets $60 back. He wins a pie. And then I think that brings us to the 5 things. So 5 people won something, and now it's like who's gonna be the least like without money. And then this is sort of my realization point. I'm like, oh right, I remember why I had problems with the auction the first time, because I'm like, this isn't an auction. This is simply just who has the most money at any period of time.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm like, this isn't there's no bidding happening. That's the exciting part about the auction, is bidding. Like, how bad do you want it? How much hard-earned American money are you willing to spend $640 on a bowl of mac and cheese? Like, that is what's exciting about old Survivor auctions. It's like, are you like, oh my God, they're down bad. Like, they really want it that bad.
Okay. What if, hear me out, I just had this thought pop into the
Great.
room,
And
right?
luckily we're on a podcast, and you can express your thoughts.
We can like think about this.
Right.
What if I kind of like the you don't know how many items things that there's gonna be?
Yeah.
What if they make it so the last item is they'll lose your vote, but it's covered so you don't know, and
Oh,
then
wow.
you're bidding normally,
Wow.
and you don't know when it's gonna end,
Wow.
and you could get stuck with that.
I think, not to play devil's advocate, the thing would be like, then nobody's going to bid on anything. But then it's like, well, I mean, like, what? People are still going to bid.
But what if they don't know that, though?
Like, that's the risk. There's a risk either way. Like, the risk of, like, bidding, like, there's a risk of not bidding early, right?
Yeah.
Right now would be, okay, I should spend my money as quick as possible. All my money as quick as possible. Like, the longer I wait for something that I want, the higher chance I have of losing my vote. And so that is the current risk. But then in your scenario, the risk would be, okay, the risk is if I never spend my money, or like if I wait too long and like go for something that's covered, it could be a lose the vote. But I mean, I'm sure there can be tweaks to it, but I like where your head is going. Like, that seems so fun to me.
Or, which I like that idea to be.
Sprinkle it out throughout.
Right. Other idea, why does it have to be the same thing every time? Like,
Yeah.
what if they did that one season? And, like, maybe you could keep the, like, if you keep the thing of, like, you don't know how many items there's going to be, but then why do you have to do it you don't have to every time be like, oh, the last item is going to be a lose a vote.
Yeah.
But if you, like, sprinkle it in, it's unexpected. So then there's no incentive to, like, not doing it, I guess. Well, I guess there still is incentive to not doing it. But, like, I don't really care.
No, I haven't watched. I need to watch the last season of Australian Survivor. The next season that's coming out is going to be like a global. Like, they have people from the U.S. and all the other little franchises. It should be good. But I feel like whenever we talk about auctions, like, Australian Survivor does auctions so well. Like, they're so thorough. They have disadvantages, they have advantages. Like, infamously, somebody bought a giant jar of candy, and similar, we'll get to her in a second, how Rachel had an advantage in her fries, there was an advantage in this person's candy. Or the cookie jar, for I think it was season 2, infamously, the winner of that season had this whole thing, he won a cookie jar, and it was a whole thing. It was so, I guess the cookie jar, I don't think that was from an auction, now that I'm talking out loud, but and then they had disadvantages in it where it's like, you bid on something and it's a covered item, and then they uncover it and you bought yourself out of the auction. It's like, oh, you lost your chance, so you have to, like, give all your money up and go back to camp by yourself.
Okay, I like that. I don't really understand, though, on American Survivor at the moment, like, why does there need to be a bad thing? Why can't the auction just be fun?
Yeah, I think I don't know, I think because they don't want them to get comfortable, or they want to keep them on edge, which, I mean, I guess, but, like, this doesn't have, like, some of the best auction moments are just silly.
It's because it's fun.
The iconic, well, I would not, some of the iconic auction moments are not silly, they're very intense, but, like, the chocolate cake, Eric and Cerie, where Eric
Yeah.
licks the chocolate cake off of Cerie, or where Susie and Gabon buys the hot bath after everybody bid on it and she had the most money, and then she got in there for like 2 seconds and got out of the bath.
Right.
Like,
It's
these are silly fun moments that have no pressure on them.
It's reality TV. At
Don't
the
put-
end of the day, it's for entertainment, and I don't think that we need to like make everything so gamey. And like, I think have that if you want, but if you're worried about like if you can't get the auction right because of these disadvantage things, then take out the disadvantages and make it fun. There's enough other stuff going on.
Just say that there's no advantages. Preface at the start. This is
Yeah.
just an auction for food. There's good food and there's bad food, historically, how there always has been. Or there's good luxury. You can get a bath. Like, why is it just food? Throw in a toothbrush. Throw in a bed. Like, they used to auction off, like, you can sleep in a bed for a night. These are things
Yeah.
that will help people's games just as much as food will help the game. A call from home. That is crazy. Like, things like that, I think you can really spice up. Like, it will add flavor to the auction. Just preface at the beginning, there are no advantages. You don't have to say that there are no advantages at play. Just say there are none to bid on. Hide in an advantage. Hide an advantage in Rachel's fries.
Yeah.
Because they're not bidding on fries. If they know that there's nothing at play, then people are not going to be stingy with their money. And then there's no point. And then have a mystery amount where it's like, oh, you can still have that part of it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it adds I think that can add and keep
Yeah.
the edge that they're looking for. But then it doesn't seem like the survivors are just, because this is not an auction. You can't call this an auction. It's whoever has the most money challenge. There's no bidding. An auction is, let me look at my,
Except it was crazy when Sierra bid all but like 200 something. She like left money. I was like,
I
what?
know. I was like, girl, just get rid of it. Anyway,
okay, she
it's
got a
just
different
interesting. And you know what? I didn't go back and watch our episode of last season where we covered the auction, but I'm sure this is the same exact conversation that we had.
It was.
Last season, and I'm sure that's the same conversation.
Wait.
So auction's gonna go ahead and be
I don't think
what?
did they not do an auction last season though?
Was it 45 or 46? Oh, it was 45.
Because I remember because the Tiffany
Austin.
quote, you were like, we can't do the auction this season because we put a gambler on the cast.
Right.
And we're like, Tiffany's gonna hold out for a lotto ticket.
That is great. Y'all, if you're new to the pod, we be saying out of pocket, mostly me, be saying out of pocket things. I looked up the definition of an auction. It's going to go ahead and be for a noun, a public sale in which goods or property are sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
I guess that is a bid technical, whatever. Sorry, I'm
this is
high
just a sale.
strong. So true. It is just a sale at the end of the day. But, a couple of these are literally sales. Souls, the first one for the potato chips, Jeff said whoever puts $60 up first gets it. And he did it. And then next, so Rachel bids crazy for it. Well, sorry, I have so many. Okay, sorry, I had to collect myself. Jeff called Soul Solomon. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was like government name.
I know. Don't out him like that one. Jeff just outed Soul publicly. I think that is not a conversation y'all are ready for, but when y'all are ready, I'm here to have it. So, Jeff called Soul Solomon. That I went, who the fuck is Solomon? And then Rachel bids on a covered item, and she gets up and she says, "I just know this is going to be a burger, and I want a burger so." She said, "Oh, I want a burger so bad." Ugh. She gets her burger, gagged and gooped. She got her burger, and she sits down. She started snacking on it, chewing on the burger, looks down, grabs a fry, realizes that there's paper in her fries.
Yeah.
We go to a commercial break. What's going to happen? She subtly, because they end the commercial, like Soul looks at Rachel, and I think before the commercial break, I was like, OMG, is Soul going to notice the scroll too? But then he was like, how are you doing? And she was like, good. And then he looked away, and then she sort of just grabbed it. So exciting. What is it going to be? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
So exciting. At some point, Genevieve did get her chocolate. I forgot to write that down, but I did remember.
Well,
she
that's
got
when it happened. They were all looking at
Yes, that was the
chocolate.
moment. She got her truffles and whatnot.
Also, you cannot tell me that they did not put that in that order. Or she had just been saying. I want chocolate.
No, right. I'm sure that she said that, and I don't know. Like,
That's how
something.
it felt. I was
It
like,
did.
that's too much.
Like, Jeff knew that Genevieve had the most money next, and he was
Yeah.
like, that's a winner at it if I've ever seen one.
Right.
Getting what she wants from production, babe. It's rigged for her to win. Rachel gets a burger. She sneaks it. Jeff. Okay, we're getting close to the end here of the auction. Jeff puts a breakfast on the table, which I know had flies on it when they were showing it. Jeff had flies on it, and he said, whoever wants it, it'll cost you $200. Sue, Sierra, Carolyn, and Sam all say they want it. They're trying to get rid of their money at this point. Jeff says, I think last time they did the auction, they had to they pulled a rock or something for it. I don't think they had to do a challenge, because I remember something like this happened when they did it in 45. And they had to eat 2 grubs to win the reward.
Large.
I said, this is wild. There are already flies on your food. You're eating bugs either way. Sierra taps out. She says, I'm not doing that. Taps out. Sue, Caroline, they can't do it. Sam eats those grubs and eats that breakfast.
Yeah.
Carolyn bids. She gets fish eyes. Tries them, famously, like Austin tried them. And they did not look very appetizing. And chocolate and peanut butter, Sue wins. Wait, what did Sue at some point? Was she the one that got chocolate and peanut butter? Oh, she got a burrito at one point.
Yeah.
She got a burrito at one point. Sierra got the margarita. I guess I didn't really keep track very well.
Someone got it and then got to pick 2 people.
That was...
And then Andy didn't get picked, which made me laugh.
I didn't write who picked the people. But Gabe and... I think it was Gabe and Caroline that got picked. Or Caroline... Something happened. Gabe and Caroline got picked. I think it was... Sierra, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway.
Oh, it was Sierra.
It was Sierra, and she picked them. They got chocolate and peanut butter. I said, this is so Jenna and Heidi coded, famously from Survivor. Amazon, the Survivor, the Amazon, when they're up on the stand, and Jeff says, well, you guys get down. And she said, we'll get down for some... Oh, they said we'll get naked for some chocolate and peanut butter. So then Jeff brought out chocolate and peanut butter, and Jenna and Heidi got naked for the chocolate and peanut butter. It was before. It was early seasons. So exciting stuff.
It was the vibe at the time.
It was the vibe at the time. It was summer 2016. It was Coachella. And that's it. Sam ends up with the most money. So no vote for him.
Yeah.
That took up a lot of time. That took up a lot of time in the episode. We had multiple commercial breaks during the thing. I was like,
this episode felt long.
It did feel long, which is crazy. So we get back to camp, and Rachel opens her note, and I wrote before the commercial break. Jeff sort of dipped his finger. Did you see that? Where he's like, apply for Survivor.
Oh yeah.
Before the commercial break, Jeff sort of dipped his finger in the peanut butter that they had just like mauled. And I went, that was too much for me. That was
dirty hands.
I know, that's what I said. Rachel, we get back to camp. Rachel opens her note. It says that there is an idol sewn into their tarp.
That's crazy.
That is insane. I was gagged and gooped. Have you been getting the TikToks on, well, it would be on TikTok. TikToks on TikTok where the Survivor like production team like they like show what they do, and I was like, oh, this is so fun. James Charles commented on one of them, and I was like, oh, take a step back.
Oh my god. James Charles on live came up on my For You page yesterday of him playing Dress to Impress, and I was like, this is the last thing I need today.
It's the vibe. It was the vibe of the time.
I just wanted to say I really liked that it was a more difficult location, because I'm like, if you're being given the location of an idol in the auction, like, that's big.
Yeah.
And so I like that it was really hard to get.
And
it was supposed to be hard to get, but.
And it was perfect that Rachel got it, because Rachel was desperate for this idol. Like, she was like, I need this right now. If somebody like Sam or... Who has power right now? Sam or Sierra got it. Like, I'm sure they would have been like, I'll wait till tonight.
Yeah.
To sort of do whatever I need to do. But Rachel said, no, right here, right now.
And I'm really glad that Rachel got it, because she was bold enough to do it. Like,
I know.
I don't think other people would have been like doing it like that with everyone right there.
We'll get there in a sec. So Kyle's name is instantly being thrown out at this point. It's early. They haven't done the immunity challenge, but they're just talking about what would happen. Kyle is the immunity threat. He's on a 2 immunity run at this point. They're like, if he doesn't win tonight, he needs to go home.
Yeah.
He has to go. Genevieve starts plotting against the Gata group, and I went, oh, I said, oh wow, don't do too much, Diva. I was like, y'all are supposed to be working together. Don't do too much now. And she was like, no, we should break them up. Like, they're too comfortable. And it seems weird to me that I don't know how she's done it. Genevieve has put herself in such a great position.
I'm obsessed.
And I'm confused how, because she famously got rid of her number 1 ally as soon as she possibly could. And she is just by herself. And I'm like, I don't know how, but it seems like nobody is mad at her.
Okay. I was gonna say this. What is with the like they come across as kind of aloof and not really with the game? People that are like actually thinking about things.
Soul, Genevieve,
and like I would say Andy is thinking way more than people are thinking he is.
No, I think it's because people are getting the weird thing is that there isn't like necessarily a huge power structure. Like there isn't like the I can't remember the tribe name, the Red 4 from 45. Like they were very clearly like the 4 on top of everything, and
Reba.
we're running it. The Reba, thank you. How could I forget?
That was 40. Oh yeah.
No, that was it was the Reba 4. And they've so clearly were like the top dogs, constantly like plotting their game right around them as a core 4. And I don't feel like that there is sort of like a epicenter for this season. Like it is like everybody is sort of playing their own thing, and people are getting cocky about how they perceive themselves in the game. But everybody's playing their own game.
Yeah.
I think that's the downfall of our Sams and Sierras, is that they assume that there's goats, and I don't think anybody on this season is a goat.
No.
At this point, the way that we're being shown these people.
Yeah.
It's a very season of the underdogs, but then you could argue that everybody's an underdog because. Anyway, the everybody's sitting in camp, and Rachel. I loved this. Everybody is sitting in the camp, and Rachel goes, "This is the perfect time." She was like, "This is the moment right here. Like, if everybody's just sitting and talking, like, it'll be fine. It'll go smooth." And I was like, this isn't going to work. I was like, oh my God, she's actually doing it right now. Like right now. Like she's going right now. She goes behind the car with the machete, starts cutting at the tarp.
Sawing at it. The whole thing is
and
moving.
They're all sitting in it. And I'm like, not a single person wanted to go, what is that sound?
And also like no one saw Rachel out of the corner of their eye. Like
I'm like, they were all sitting there. Like I swear there was a point where she was in the frame right here cutting, and then like 2 people were sitting right here. Like they were that close to each other.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no why. How did she get away with this? And it's not even like editing made it seem. I was like, she was actually there. Like it was like, because sometimes Survivor likes to make it seem like something is closer or it's not as it seems. Like no, she was actually like there. Every single person was sitting there and fully doing it, and nobody gabbed. Everybody was like la 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 la, and she got her idol, which is insane to me. I'm so. Like it's wild that happened. That she was able to do it successfully.
Yeah.
And then we go to the immunity challenge. It is the water bucket weight challenge. They each got a quarter of their grip strength. I said that they should do a water bottle flip challenge on Survivor.
This challenge looks so hard.
I wrote instantly, I knew Sue was going to win this.
Oh my God. I was thinking the exact
Sue
same thing.
weighs probably 40 pounds. And you can look at Sue. She weighs 40 pounds. 30 of those pounds are pure muscle.
I'm fully not surprised that it was Sue and Kyle that won.
I'm not surprised at all.
I could have told you that by looking at them.
And I think if it had come down to it, Sue would have won.
Yeah.
Like between the both of them. Like I thought this was Sue's challenge. I was not surprised at all when she won.
No.
We learn, Jeff tells us that 1 man and 1 woman are going to win immunity.
Yeah.
Gag. 2 people have immunity and 1 person doesn't have a vote. What's this? The final 9? The final 8? Like this is getting tight. 2 people immune. That's.
I think there might be 11 left at this point.
Right, right.
I don't think they're in the like top 10.
Right.
Or I
Have
think
you
they're
ever-
now in the top 10.
Have you ever been to Krispy Kreme?
Not recently.
Was it crispy?
I can't remember.
Sam, Sam was the first. Okay, this is. I don't know why I wrote this. This is so dirty. I wrote, so Sam's muscles are just for show. Got it.
Why does it feel that way though?
Which is fine, Sam. Do what you want to do. Like, you are an attractive man. That is okay. But I was like, there is no way that you're the first. And then he sat down, and like two other people, I think Teeny and Rachel, got out next, and they were sitting. No, Rachel lasted a little bit. Somebody else was out, and Genevieve, I think, and they were sitting, and he goes, "Mine was really heavy."
Hey, that's Mike TV you're talking to.
That's so true. I respect the lane that he walks on.
I saw someone on TikTok today that was like, "This is for Sam and Teeny." Hey guys, I was Mike TV's mom in the musical, and then Teeny was like, "Hi, mom."
Stop. I was like, oh, Sam, you're silly. He was like, it's so heavy. I'm like, is that not the, like, one, that's the point. Two, I'm like, I feel like usually for people who have a lot of muscle, it's sort of geared towards them because you sort of lose body fat. You're not necessarily losing muscle mass. Right. So usually it should help you, actually, you would think.
And it's because you did go in weighing more than these other people.
Yeah. So note to self, get on Survivor, starve yourself before you go.
Yeah, skinny.
That's my pro tip. That was a Survivor super fan. Sam's muscles are for show. I wrote. What did you write? What did you say?
You said Ozempic down.
So true. Ozempic. It's just the vibe of the time. AI Andy recently got the arm strength update. He did not get the sort of Easter egg hunt update, but he doubled down on the arm strength update.
Yeah.
And he almost won, but he didn't. Kyler and Susu won. Oh, yes.
Kyler and Susu.
Yeah. Kyler and Susu won, and Kyler is getting a target on his butt. This is a 3 immunity streak.
Like, he's in a sticky spot at this point. I will admit. Like, what is he supposed to do? Because if he doesn't win it, he's gonna go home.
Okay, now imagine he wins every single one until the end.
No,
those
right,
chicken wings gave him the fuel that he needed to last.
No, real. But like, I get why he didn't want to lose it last time, because like, that was for your team, you know?
Can we talk now? Wait a minute. Because he has not been fueling up the way that everybody else has been fueling up. He has not been eating meat. He's been eating coconut and rice, and yet he has been beating y'all.
Which maybe we gotta get on that vegetarian diet.
Well, you can and let me know. You're basically halfway there. I'm gonna eat my chicken pho and my Wingstop, and I'll let y'all know. But
yeah,
Kyle's getting a target on his butt, and it'll be interesting to see how that ends up turning out. Yeah. We go back to the island post challenge, and Sierra needs to get off of Andy's neck. I don't know why. She is obsessed with shitting on Andy, and it is too good. She's like Andy is just not doing what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Then we pan over to Andy. Update in, and AI Andy went ahead and got the self-confidence update. And he has realized that he no longer needs to work with Sam and Sierra.
Right. I'm kind of scared of what his next update might
be. I'm like, this is wild. He's having some crazy character progression. I'm kind of living for it.
Yeah. I know. I also, some people online talking about this, and they're like, y'all are mad. He's just having the Emily story. And then people were like, yeah, but I actually ended up liking Emily in that. So...
You're not liking AI Andy?
Everyone's like, I'm not sort of at that point yet.
Maybe
that's the update, the likability update.
I saw another Twitter post, I think. It must have been Twitter, that they were like, the editors are setting Andy up for a win. He is being set up right now. This is his story that is being told.
I saw people thinking that he's going to be a 0 vote finalist.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see them getting a similar, like a Caroline edit, or who else got 0 votes? Jake.
Yeah.
Who last season? 46 was. Who got 0 votes last season? It was Tiffany. Not Tiffany. It was Kenzie, and who did she sit next to?
Oh, what's the kid? Charlie.
Oh, Charlie and Ben. And Ben got 0
0
votes. But also you could say Ben's story, but Ben, like, I would say the only other person would be Caroline. I could feel like Caroline got a very, it was
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Carolyn. Come on, Carolyn. Carolyn got she got a very heavy story character edit, and you could argue AI Andy is also a very prominent character. So yeah, I could see that. But this arc that he's on right now is not like, he is making the right moves again and again. He consistently is making the right moves. So I could see it potentially. We'll get into my power rankings at the end. Yeah. Very interesting. He's realizing he does not need to work with Sam and Sierra. He has no use for them anymore, specifically because they have no interest in protecting him.
He's expendable to them.
So he needs to get rid of them, and he is instantly pushing Sierra. Now, Kyle's name is out there, from sort of like the Gada people. And then AI Andy starts to push Sierra. So now Sierra's name is out there. Teeny gets a hold of this and says, between Sierra and Sam, if we're breaking up the couple, I would much rather prefer Sam go. And she is pushing for Sam.
Yeah. Which, like, I get. But I also am like, I don't think that's the correct choice.
I don't think...
I would go with Sierra out of the two of them.
I would say, yeah, Sam has a reputation at this point where I'm like, I feel like people know he's on, like, he's, now what would be the metaphor? We all know I have a hard time with metaphors on this podcast. Sam, you could say, I don't even know. The metaphor I'm trying. I feel like there's one out there for what I want to say, but
said pot, meat kettle.
Pot, meat kettle.
That lives rent free in my mind.
Pot, meat kettle. I feel like it's just another way to,
meat kettle.
Because like the metaphor was there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Teeny's pushing Sam.
Yeah.
Genevieve wants Rachel.
Yeah.
So now we have kind of, at this point, Kyle's kind of simmered away, and between the three Gada, that is not including Andy, so Rachel, Sierra, and Sam, between those three, it seems to be, hey, one of them has to go. But there are different sort of groups who are coming to different conclusions that want different things.
Yeah.
There's not a consensus, which I think it's so interesting. I love that there is a lack of consensus. It makes... What?
No, you go, sorry.
I just love the fact, it makes my heart, obviously, is it a good sort of sense of gameplay? Probably not. It is probably better for groups to sort of solidify as sort of voting blocks than to want to push their own agendas. I will say that. But it makes me happy that there are individual people wanting to play individual games. And I think that is going to make for a good end game. Because people, why would I budge? If Teeny's like, it makes no sense for me to keep Sam in this game. For me personally, like, he means nothing to my game. Genevieve is like, Rachel and I are playing similar games. Rachel is a strategic threat. She's sly like I'm sly. I need to get Rachel out. AI Andy is like, Sierra is taking up my spot as Sam's number one. She needs to go. Like, people have different reasons, and I'm like, yes, push your individual agenda. Is it messy? Yeah. But I'm like, put yourselves first. I'm gonna put myself first, Lucius. I'm gonna put myself first.
I don't remember who said it. It might have been Soul. I don't fully remember. But someone said, well, when you're in a group, you're not all gonna agree to vote the same person out. Like, we're all gonna want different people out. Like, how are we gonna come to a consensus? I'm like, well, have you ever seen, like, an alliance play before? Like,
that's sort of like the point of working to, like, voting, being a group. The point of sort of saying that you guys are a group of 8 sort of implies that you guys are going to maybe work together.
Right. And
Because if not, you're not really like a group. You're kind of just like 8 people.
When they were like, well, yeah, that's just part of it. Like, we're not going to all want to vote the same person. Like,
well, so then you're not a group. You guys are just people talking about the different plans.
Yeah, it just made me laugh so hard.
No, that is silly. We kind of go to tribal not knowing what's going to happen. At some point, we get a scene with Rachel and Sam and Sierra, and Rachel's like, what is going on right now? Like, people are talking, but nobody's talking to us. Like, this is weird. And they're all kind of like, yeah, there's something strange going on.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. And we go to tribal. Tribal's not very, I mean, there's nothing juicy happening. They're answering some questions. People are feeling it out.
Yeah.
But then, what, did you have something to say?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like I never really care about the stuff that's like said at tribal. It's more like what happens and how things play out.
Right. So they vote. They come back. Sam doesn't have a vote, so only 9 people are voting. Yeah, it's 10 people remaining. I love math because 441
Yeah.
plus Sam would be 9.
Yeah.
Or 10. It would be math. Yeah. So they vote. Oh, no, it would be 11. Is that what you're going to say?
There's 11 people total.
There is 11 people total because Rachel didn't vote. So, and so that's sort of like my, sort of like, I'm like piecing these together.
It's okay.
So it was like real. That was real. See, and that's why. That's sort of what my book that I've been reading recommends. Sort of like hawk to a podcast. Our peer.
Yeah.
Rachel stands up after they vote, and she says, "I played my shot in the dark," and this has been a very talked about moment.
And I'm loving the discourse about this.
Me too. So
because she doesn't say
no.
She just says Jeff.
She doesn't let us in, but us as an audience, if you have sort of media, why did I say media training like we're celebrities? If you have literally, if you have media analysis skills, you would sort of piece together the fact that, hey, we as an audience know she has an idol. We know that leading up to this, we're privy to the fact that she is unsure about what's happening.
And
I feel like
she had said in the last episode
right.
that her family told her, don't go home with anything in your pockets.
Right. So Rachel gets up and she's like, Jeff, I don't know what's happening. I have to play this shot in the dark. Mm-hmm. And she is looking at everybody's reaction.
Yeah.
And I thought we were being set up for Rachel to go home at this point because, yes, this is a very smart move, but the Caroline and Genevieve, the 2 people that I feel like they were very clearly pushing Rachel the most, had no reaction to this. And I thought that what was happening was that they just had a really good poker face about it. Because I would say that Caroline and Genevieve have proven to be 2 of our more top players of the season, I would say.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, their poker face is too good. And Rachel is getting set up. She's not going to play her idol. But let's separate that discussion for a second. This by itself, the move in itself, what a crazy move.
She's genius.
So smart.
Like,
in 7 seasons, we have never seen it play out like this before. And I'm like, you see it and you're like, this is so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, why hasn't anybody done this before? But it's genius.
Yeah. Like, people's reactions do say everything, especially when you catch them off guard.
Yes.
Like, that was genuine.
Yes.
I think it's hard to have a poker face when you're not expecting something.
Yes.
And so, like, being able to read that and, she's just...
I think Jeff said in an interview, he said that this is going to change the future of this game, the way that she just did this.
Yeah.
Because now she used it, like, not on defense, but on offense.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, I'm using this towards my advantage. And we haven't seen that yet.
No.
So, great. I loved it. I was like, yes, reinventing the wheel. Go ahead. Use your shot in the dark.
She's done this the whole time.
Yes.
Like, from the rice in the pockets thing, she's like
pushing.
things.
She is testing it.
Yeah.
I love, like, get her on season 50.
No, I need to see Rachel again.
I
don't
love-
care where she places.
Yeah.
I need to see Rachel.
And she's so okay. Well, let's finish the episode. Sort of talk about the players, and then we'll crush about Rachel. We end up having a 4-4 tie. It ends up being 4 votes on Sierra, 4 votes on Sam, and 1 vote on somebody that I can't remember. Was it? It wasn't Rachel. Was it Rachel? 1 vote on Rachel, I believe.
I don't know if it was.
Well, let me look it up. Ends up being a 4-4 tie, which is interesting, which shows that, yet again, there was an ability to sort of come to a consensus at all, which I think is so funny. I'm like, you guys had all that time and you couldn't just... and, like, it was a 4-4 split, and then I forgot about the fact that Sam didn't vote, which I thought was... I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
right. No, Gabe voted for... Oh, no, Sierra voted for Gabe. So Gabe got 1 vote, Sierra got 4 votes, and Sam. And maybe we can look at this. Caroline, Sol, Sue, and Teeny voted for Sam. But Andy, Gabe, Genevieve, and Kyle voted for Sierra.
So interesting.
It is an interesting breakup. I think it's interesting that Gabe, Caroline, and Sue didn't vote together. They, as this trio that I would have assumed would have been very
That
tight.
people were just talking about wanting to pick off one by one.
Right. So very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to close that because I think my computer's about to blow up when I'm on Riverside and I open have more than just my notes open. My computer says no. So it's a 4-4 tie. Interesting sort of asterisk here. We learn that since it's a 4-4 tie, Sam doesn't have a vote. Usually on a revote, the 2 people involved in the tie, or however many people involved in the tie, cannot vote. However,
because it cancels each other out.
Yes, the logic is it's going to cancel each other out, so it doesn't matter. But since Sam doesn't have a vote and he didn't vote the first time, Rachel can vote for him. Or not Rachel. Sierra can vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sierra is allowed to vote on the revote.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I feel like
I like it. I guess I always thought that they couldn't vote. I didn't even think about it. It's because they're canceling each other out. I was just like, oh well, they got the vote, so they can't vote this time.
Not to 180 real quick. I'm having an ant problem right now. I've seen about 4 ants on my desk, which means there's definitely more somewhere, and I don't know where. I don't have food in my bedroom, so I don't really know what's going on. But I'll look into that. I'll update y'all next week on what if. Maybe they'll go into my computer and sort of kill it. Well, we'll see. You know, they'd be doing that sometimes. They'd
Maybe
be
we'll
chewing.
have to put that $2,000
towards getting me a new computer. Right. We
make sure you leave a comment.
Right. Make sure to leave the
Pick it.
Exactly. Sierra ends up going home. It's a clear vote.
Margarita curse.
The margarita curse. What's the margarita curse?
Oh my God. Okay, so I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, of course.
At least she's at least the 3rd person to have gotten the margarita in the auction and to have gone home. Like that episode.
That would be my downfall
happened
because
to
I
Kelly.
love a margarita.
Right. Well, but most of the time you don't know that it's going to be a margarita under there.
Well, but I'm just saying. If a margarita is in front of me,
you would sense it like Rachel did.
so true. I'd say I feel the tequila in the room with Lord, I feel the tequila in the room. Lord, I feel the tequila in the room with us. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, so she did get the margarita in the auction and went home this episode. I don't remember who the first person was. I forgot their name. It was another woman.
Right. And that's it. Oh, I wrote one more update for the episode. AI Andy got the dirty player update. In his confessional, he said, I'm a dirty player. And that last update for the episode. Teeny was quick to apologize to Sierra. I wrote, like, Jeff hadn't even finished reading the votes, and Teeny turned around, looked at Sierra, and went, I'm sorry.
I just made a mistake.
Yeah.
So wait.
No, go.
So I do have this nail polish bottle.
Oh.
That I have been painting the top with a clear coat. You can kind of see it. and I sort of forgot that I just did it a few minutes ago. So my finger is covered.
In nail polish?
Yeah, top coat.
Right.
Anyways.
Well, luckily we're wrapping up here soon, so you can go ahead and
No, it's fine.
fix that.
Sorry.
There's another Blindside this episode.
I know.
We're on a Blindside streak.
Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm sorry to Sierra, but I really like this outcome.
It was fun. And I think there's room for more fun gameplay. I'm excited.
I just love this season. Like, this was so what I needed last night. This was such a fun episode.
It was very engaging. I feel like I feel excited for the end game, which is so fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I really want Rachel to push through. I'm really enjoying Rachel as a character. I'm afraid that she just doesn't have. There's not going to be enough steam in her engine to get her to the end. Like not necessarily that she is going to run out of steam specifically, but like she only has so many lives.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that is something that is scary to think about, but I'm sorry. I just got the hiccup. I don't know why that just happened. Jennifer. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
That was crazy. The other day, while I was sick, I kind of had I can't even talk about it, a coughing fit.
Right.
And all of a sudden I got the hiccups. And I was like, what did I do to deserve this? I was like, this is cruel and unusual punishment.
Anyway, I'm excited for Genevieve. I'm excited for Rachel. Excited for Caroline.
Excited for Teeny. I kind of love Teeny.
Dare I say excited for AI Andy. I need to see where the story goes. I'm embedded in.
I'm excited for Soul.
There's just so many. Oh my god, Soul! Like, there's just so many great things going on in the season. Yeah. Weird, and it's interesting, Gabe,
Gabe's getting heat on Twitter.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he's beefing with everyone.
I did see that he did post beef with Tiana. Oh, and then Tiana snapped back. I saw that because he said he said something about Hawaii. She said, "Don't say
that word.
Keep my wife's name." I was going through the Rolodex in my brain. I was like, "What am I referencing right now? What am I referencing?" Is that not it?
No, that is. But I was like, okay.
No, stop. I have a problem with words. You said not the Rolodex, and I went, oh my god, that's the watch. Oh, that's the watch, isn't it? We gotta end this episode, y'all. My power ranking, my top 4 players. I think I just named them. Caroline.
Yeah.
I think Caroline, Rachel, Genevieve, Soul.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Maybe I would say AI Andy's a close 4th, somewhere in there. He would switch out possibly with somebody. I think he's being set up really well, but these are all people I'm excited. I'm like, these people have very words. Very fun games going on right now. They're not carbon copies of anybody else. They're playing very specific games, which I think is really interesting to watch.
And they're all just so fun.
Yeah.
I love this season so far.
I know, watch something terrible happen next episode. Imagine we have to come back and be like, guys.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any other thoughts?
No.
I sort of had a reflection the other day. I was sort of looking through our episodes, and you can tell which episodes I am in charge of notes, because it always runs about an hour 15, and when Maddie does it, we're done by a good 45-50.
No, and I like it. I like letting you take charge, though. I love how our brains work.
And I think I love over an hour long thing. I could just sit it, turn it on. I know that's not everybody's cup of
I do too.
tea, but so I'm just a rambler. Anyway, well that's it. Thank you all for watching. Remember, tell us in the comments, do you like ramen or pho? Chance to win $2,000.
Chance. Because we might not pick your comment.
So true. So
or anyone's comment.
I know we might have to pick specifically from our Patreon comments. So if you really want a better chance, make sure to go subscribe to our Patreon.
Or spam the comment.
Spam the
A
comments.
bunch of
Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe here on YouTube if you want more of our podcast content. And you can follow us on our socials at Making Fire Pod on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
We are super active on all three.
All three. Just as active on our Patreon.
Can you
What?
can you please post your Angela video?
Yes,
onto
I'll
on
edit it.
TikTok?
I'll edit it.
That, but also I
What?
meant the one that you posted on your.
Oh, no, I feel like
That made me laugh so hard.
maybe I'll repost it. Maybe I'll repost it from the
repost
Making Fire TikTok. I did a lip sync to one of her charcuterie scene. So
And Angela liked it.
so true. One of my 9 likes on the TikTok, y'all. Don't be too envious. Don't be too envious. I'll always remember where I came from.
Stay humble.
Stay humble. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week when we cover the next episode of Survivor 47.
Right. Bye.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. Oh wait, this side. Wrong eye. I'm fully showing you the eye that was closed.